You know, with all of these updates that we have been doing for Xenoblade 3, we should call it something. I don't know. Be able to say a blog format almost. And on that note, that's going to be something which we're going to be covering today. Yes, I know, that was a great transition. That's why I get paid the big bucks. You know, as in nothing. But I digress. Hey everyone, welcome back to more Xenoblade 3 news updates. And we are starting off with a official source. This is courtesy of Nintendo Japan in their official blog. And it's what it says. Now, we're not going to cover everything in this blog article because this is pretty much just going over a majority of things we've already seen before. Previous screenshots, the previous environments, the previous enemies, and monster variety and whatnot, unique monsters, and all that jargon. So, today, we are only going to be covering the new stuff. And that's why you're tuning into this video, because who would want to watch old news? But anyway, here we have the first instance of, well, let's say the quality of life aspects. So let's begin right now with comfortable field exploration and skip travel. There are landmarks in various parts of the world, and you can always travel to one of the landmarks you have visited by skip travel. There is also a rare landmark called Unexplored Area. So let's explore the wide world in every corner using skip travel for a superb view. And this is our first real look at the game's mini-map, or its dedicated map. And straight away, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I think on this map alone, I think the colours clash really well. Nice orange and blue. And as well as a few quality of life improvements that we've seen compared to previous Xenoblade games. Starting off with a dedicated zoom function, just using the right stick. Previous games, you've had to press a trigger as well as zoom out, so it's not a big change, just something I actually like seeing.
Yeah.
Next one is what is just below. And this is something that I'm really liking, the fact they brought back from Xenoblade 1. The fact that you can just go into the map menu and you can select the time of day. Do you want it to be sunrise, midday, sunset, or nighttime? And it also makes me think that the game is not inherently reliant on like an actual clock. So it's just, here's morning, here's noon, no specific times, just, hey, it's there.
In some ways, though, I kind of prefer the clock. It's like, I'm exploring this desert at 3 in the morning.
And to be honest, it makes me curious on how the NPC routes are gonna go. Because I personally like the Xenoblade 1 aspect of it, in which you see characters walk around and they go to bed at a certain time and they walk around and do their business, and their location changes depending on the time of day. Makes the world feel more alive, so to speak, much more active. But hey, that's neither here or there. So, I'm loving what we're seeing. And also, I'm going to guess these are various locations on, say, a hub town, as well as the unexplored area, which we are seeing here. And that brings us up to our next screenshot, which is, I can only assume, the picture of the said unexplored landmark in which we just talked about. Now, I don't know about you, but this definitely is reminiscent of, I can't remember the exact name of the place.
I think it's Believer's Paradise?
Maybe it's where Dunban and Shulk have a heart-to-heart. Oh no, it just has that Gawar plane overlooking a majority of it kind of feel. And again, I'd love to see what this place looks like in sunset, because for me, Monolith, I don't think there's hardly any other developer that makes a skybox in sunset or sunrise look as fantastic as Monolith does.
Yeah.
That's me. But still though, we have all 6 characters on looking, so it is nice to know that unexplored areas are coming back. Incentivizes exploring, which a JRPG should do anyway, but still, it's a good view. And again, little Easter egg hunts. I'm gonna love it.
Yeah.
And obviously, skip travel's coming back, so yay on that one. Next up is, for me, a kind of weird one, but I will explain in due time. Field skills. There are some places you can only walk on a tightrope or climb a wall. These special actions, field skills will increase as you learn from the people you meet during your adventure. By adventuring and meeting many people, you'll be able to explore a wider world. So we have seen a little bit of this in the trailers beforehand, in which you see people grinding on a rail, Sonic Adventure style.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have a kicking soundtrack by June Sonoid to go along with it, but I digress. So for me, this is a rather cool way to get along wide gaps, although it kind of makes me feel if you can skip travel from one location to another, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's curious to see how this gets put into the game without making skip travel seem a little bit redundant or making this seem a little bit redundant. But still though, it's a cool look, it's a cool gimmick. I'm sure it gives you a great opportunity to see the world as you're skirting by, or maybe this is just little gimmicks to reach unexplored areas. So if they're one and done or a proper way to traverse, I honestly wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, this is something I'm a bit unsure of because I know they probably implemented this to make things a bit more linear, but I think they could have done that with like put a unique monster in the way or something like that, or do like what they did in Tephra Cave with the ether crystals out of your reach. But that's just me going back to Xenoblade 2 and how it implemented field skills, but I know that this is probably gonna make things a lot more streamlined than the field skills in 2, especially since you can switch characters on the fly and you could get your skills improved by talking to people instead of relying on a gachapon system to get what you need for the field skills.
Yeah, if you want to know what we're talking about, we went on like a 2-hour rant on Xenoblade's core crystal system. We'll probably put that in the description below or on the card here. So, yeah. We have mixed feelings on the core crystal system. Yeah, we don't hate it, we can just definitely see how it can get in the way of gameplay sometimes, especially narrative-wise. But anyway though, now, and one of the things I want to cover really quick is that it says, by adventuring and meeting many people. Does that imply that if you just do like random side quests or random NPCs, you get those upgrades? Or is this story tied? Do you naturally get better skills you will go through the game? That's yet to be seen. Personally, I can see both working and at the same time both having drawbacks. I'd love to know what you guys think. Would you like these things to be optional upgrades, or would you want them to be tied to the plot so it seems a bit more natural? But, I don't know. For me, one of the reasons that I have this trepidation is this screenshot right here. It's not much, but it's literally Mio climbing a wall. The reason why I have an issue with this is because climbing vines like this, it's been in there since the first Xenoblade. It was in Xenoblade 2 as well, and for me, I kind of don't like, at least on the surface level, something that was natural, didn't have to have anything special in order to climb vines. Now it seems you need something in order to just simply climb a vine.
Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe it's because like Mio has like a climbing skill and everyone else doesn't. It's kind of like Final Fantasy 15, where like Noctis has fishing and Ignis has cooking. It's just like that.
Maybe if they have different traits, but it seems a bit contrived that no one else knows how to climb a surface.
Yeah.
Again, it's a weird one, but again, if I'm a weird person, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and feelings on that one, so please, let us know in the comments below. We love seeing every single one of your comments and opinions.
I think as long as it's implemented better than how 2 did it, then it might be alright.
It's like, oh, I've got to abandon my favourite characters and gotta swap these people in because they have skills, but even then, I've got to raise their skill levels.
Yeah.
It's, again, it wasn't fantastically done. But again though guys, that's been a cool outlook on locations as well as a sort of curious way in how to get around or to those previous areas. So, with that said, I don't think there's anything else that we need to cover. No, so guys, thank you very much. What do you think of this new piece of info we have? Love to hear your thoughts below. And as always, if you want to, please please do like the video. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to stay up to date with our takes, our insight, our analysis, and of course just general news updates on anything Xenoblade 3 related, take it screenshots, little clips, or anything like that, we'll be here to cover it because, as always, because it's Xenoblade 3. Because we love it to death. We've only played the original Xenoblade like, what, 20 times?
Yeah.
You know, we don't have a problem. Shut up, we don't. Anyway though guys, on that note, we'll see you next time on the next Xenoblade 3 release info. But until then, I've been Lightning.
I'm Alice.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.